Good evening. You have in front of you here my Singer 319K. It's a beautiful machine and I'm a little unhappy about selling it. However, my other half says I have too many, so therefore I have no choice. But I'm delighted to present it to you because it's a machine for sewers. It's a beautiful machine and I'm going to tell you a few things about what you're getting today. So, I have the original 319K instruction manual and a photocopy as well so you can use it. So if you want to keep the manual in reasonably good shape, as best it can be, for a 1950, I think it's a 58 machine if I remember correctly. It's either 58 or 59. I looked it up one time, but it's certainly almost 60 years old. But we have the instruction manual, so I'll put that out of the way. You also have a large collection of bobbins. This was at one point my primary machine, and as you can see it comes with all of those different bobbins, so when you can sew projects you've got a big selection, and within here as well you've got a choice of threads all you want. So put that back there. You also have the box. It's been abused, not so much by me, but I've had this machine for quite some years now. Every one of the fashion discs, as well as this machine, has built-in cam stacks. You get zigzag, multi-point zigzag, ball stitch. It tells you all in the instructions manuals what you get in this. Okay, so you've got all of those. You're also getting a Singer automatic buttonholer from the mid-1960s, I think. It's a fairly old one, but it works fine. So it's got all the cams for it. It's either early 70s, could be early 70s or 1960s anyway, mid-1960s, but it works perfectly on the short shank machine. The machine is in perfect condition. You also get, not my scissors, you get the, oh, that's not the original one, it's a featherweight one. I'll give you the original one. So I've got the original straight stitch foot and the zigzag foot. I've got cording foot, button foot, fashion disc, fashion foot that goes with the disc. So when you use that, you've got your zipper feet, you've got an edge guide, a rolled hem, a ruffler, and as well, if you want to do your pin tucks, you've got that. And for this machine, it has zigzag plate in as well as your straight stitch. So if you're doing really fine fabrics or want to make sure your straight stitching is perfectly straight, you would use that one. You also have the darning embroidery, but the feet do drop on this machine, which I'll show you about in a second. And as well as something very special, a custom-made picot attach plate for the picot or the hem stitching attachment, so you can actually use the hem stitching attachment on this machine. These plates go in the side here, so if you can see there's a side panel which is in the beautiful wood case, and that goes here. It took me a long time to find this machine and I brought it with me from the UK. The case, the top of the case is imperfect. I've put these clips on here just to hold it because I don't have any way of fixing the wood here because I'm in an apartment, but it holds together fine. If you're good at gluing, all it takes is some wood glue and you can fix that up, no problem. So let's get on to the actual stitching. So I'm going to attempt to zoom in here and bring you up a bit and zoom in a bit more so you can see the actual stitching. So I've got two pieces of fabric here. I've got a light shirtweight cotton and some denim. Make sure you can see those, yes. So I've just got black thread in the machine and a size 16 needle. So the size 16 needle is way too big for this fabric. However, that is neither here nor there, so you'll get to see these pieces here. So I've got it at the moment on straight stitch, But before I do that, what I'll do is I will show you how to drop the feed dogs. There's a little screw right under there. That little screw there. If you unscrew it to the left, it drops the feed dogs. There's the bobbin there. It's perfectly good and clean inside. Oops, little thread from before. And you just push that back to close it, and there you go. So it's a beautiful machine, and it's lovely to sew on. Very, very smooth. With this machine you get your typical, it's a full rotary hook, takes standard 15 by 1 needles, I think up to size 20. On the zigzag takes maybe 18 with the straight stitch because the hole's much smaller. And basically it's in straight position. I don't have the straight stitch foot or the straight stitch plate on here, but away we go. So I've got it on the largest, which goes up to number 4 metric or 6 stitches per inch, and then I can reduce that down. There's 12. You can see it sews beautifully. It's that distinctive sound of, and you can see it's perfect stitching on the back here. Beautiful. And you can tell by the sound, it's that distinctive sound of the 319K, which is quite therapeutic to sew on. Beautiful to sew on, really. And you can go right up to fine. So what I'll do is I'll move over here to the next row. And then what we'll do is we'll put it on, bring the needle up, multi-point zigzag, shorten the stitch a bit so it's a little interesting, put it up to maximum stitch width. So you've got left needle, right needle, and then you've got your zigzag, and you can lock it in there with this clip. So you get full needle control. So it's on maximum width, multi-point zigzag, and we'll see how that looks. Dust there. You can see the multi-point zigzag is working perfectly. I can put it on regular zigzag at the moment. And put it back to straight stitch. And spin. There you go. So you can see I've got the tension not quite stiff at the moment, so it's gathering that a bit, which you would expect, but you would loosen it. But the reason I've got it like that is because it's such a large needle, and when I get to the denim you're going to see it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll just show you a little bit of the very fine stitching this can do. Very famous Singer thing, where you can do micro dot stitching, so it's absolutely flawless. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you the type of slow control this has. So it's got very good slow control. So I have an electronic foot on here, but I also have the original Singer foot, which works fine as well. But I used to do tons and tons and tons of embroidery, and the feet do tend to get a bit hot. So I thought I would do that. So there we go. So there's the right side. There's the wrong side. So you can see it's perfect stitching. So what I will do now is show you this on denim. And we'll do, just because I can show you the tough side of this machine, 4 layers of good heavy denim. In fact, I can do 6. So there's 6 layers of denim. In fact, what I might do is do it on the light side so you can see the stitching better. So if I fold it this way, fold it this way, fold it this way, you've got 6 layers of heavy denim. And if I could keep it folded, I'll get it under here and you'll be able to see this do that without any problem whatsoever. Okay, so I'll put it on the longest stitch. Start this off. And there we go. So it's sewing through that without any problem whatsoever. I'm having more of a trouble holding it. So, not that it demonstrated my sewing skills very well. It's hard to tell. Yeah, that's just an optical illusion. Like, increase the tension a bit more for that. You don't necessarily want to go full tilt when you're sewing denim. But anyway, it's perfect. No problems whatsoever. So if you want to make jeans or heavy stuff, this will absolutely do you fine. So anyway, I hope that is a good demonstration of the machine. So I hope that this will go to a very good home soon. Someone who will enjoy sewing for hours and hours and hours. Beautiful machine to sew on, love it. Crying now, but hey ho, that's sort of life. So thank you very much, and goodbye for now.